Hi everybody, it's Lene. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel today. So as Mother's Day approaches, I gotta tell you I'm missing my mom. My mom passed away in 2000 when my daughter was just a few months old. And my mom was an artist and she taught me everything I know. So I wanted today's project to be an honor to my mom and all moms. And we're going to be playing with a little bit of watercolors. So this is a little outside of my sort of comfort zone and probably your comfort zone too. And I just wanted to show you a few things my mom taught me. She was an oil painter. She taught me when I would play with watercolor paints while she was painting. And so if I could have done it when I was 7 years old, you guys, we could do it. So I'm just using very inexpensive children's watercolor paints. Check the kids' art supplies for this one: a Sharpie, some paintbrushes, a vessel of clean water, and then a big coffee mug. So we're going to stick around, you guys, and I'm going to tell you how one lucky viewer could win this card to keep or share with a friend. In the meantime, I thought I would just share with you a few of my mom's oil paintings. These are my favorites that are hanging in my home, and hope you enjoy, and we'll come back and we'll get started. All right, you guys, I promised you really simple, easy techniques so that you can make a card. So I'm not a painter. My mom was the painter, but I do have a few things that she taught me about watercolors that I learned actually when I was little. And I use them occasionally now when I want to play with some watercolors. So I've got some watercolor paper here, and I've cut it down smaller than the typical card I use, okay, because I want to glue it to a card front. And it also then gives you the space that you need to fill. And I like to do that rather than starting with a big sheet and trying to figure out how to cut it down. So this is about 4 3/4 by 6 inches. I've got a coffee cup. This is just about 4 inches right here. And then I've got a paint set. Wanted to show you guys how basic you can be. This is just my daughter's old paint set. It's probably like Crayola or some off-brand. It's got the very basic colors. I've just got a watercolor mat here that I got on Temu. I'll link it down below. It is nice to have. You can get it on Amazon as well. I'll link that. It's got a little basin, and then if you want to like mix your water with your color right here, that's nice. I've got 2 brushes. One is a large round brush. If you want to be specific, this is a number 12, and then I've got a smaller round brush that's probably a 3. But you could use, you just want to even really have one brush, and you can buy them at your local craft store. Michael has them. You can buy them individually. You don't want to pay more than a couple bucks. So even if you just had the one brush, you'd be good to go. Even the small brush. All right, so let's get going. All right, so lots of clean water. I also have a paper towel sitting here. Take lots of the brown, get it really watery, and we're just going to paint that right on the rim of a coffee cup. And we're going to start off by making our wreath. All right. All right, now what I don't want to happen is what just happened is I don't want to have a lot of drips down in there, because when I turn it over, it may decide to drip down on my card. So we're going to do that. It's just like a stamp. All right, and we're just going to add it again. We're going to do this 3 or 4 times, maybe more. This time I'm going to do it so it doesn't match up. Okay. Once again, we want it to look like a twig wreath. We want it to be haphazard looking. And that's kind of the theme of the whole thing. As long as they're consistent about your haphazardness, it looks very intentional, especially when you don't know how to paint. So that's what I particularly appreciate. I think growing up with a mom who was such a wonderful artist and she encouraged me so much in all mediums. It was a little concerning though. It was a little intimidating because she was so good at it, and she had all these fancy paints and things, and I was like, oh, that looks intimidating. All right, the next thing we're going to do is get some green. Now this green is very sort of Kelly green, and I just want to go a little bit darker on this, so I'm just going to get quite a bit going here. And then I'm going to add a little bit of the brown that I've already got on this brush and watch it transform. I guess I should have used my mixing things, but that's awful fancy for me. All right, and then just a little bit more water. And it's going to turn now into a little bit of an olive green. Get a little bit more brown. All right, it's a little bit more of a natural green. A little bit more water. All right, we're going to take the brush and we're going to start from the tip and kind of flick up. Tip and flick up. Pretty watery. We're going to go over here and we're just trying to go for something that looks like a point. Like this. Now, before I get too many, I want to tell you, we want to dry these so they don't run off the paper. So I'm going to use, this is a heat gun, but typically, I mean, I grew up using a hairdryer. So you want to do just this. I'm choosing this because a hairdryer's way noisy and you wouldn't be able to hear me. So the heat gun's going to keep it quieter. And you just want that to dry enough so that it is not going to run off your page, run off your paper rather. See, I just keep adding more and more water. And we're just going to go around and we're going to keep doing that style of petal, of leaf. Come on, Monet, know your foliage. All the way around. All right. All right, so that's what I've ended up with. I'm going to give it a little shot of heat there. And we just want this to heat kind of between each step. That way things don't tend to run together. All right, so for this one, you guys, I'm just taking a little bit of yellow. I want to do another shade of green, but this time it's going to be more yellow. Okay, I'm just taking the green and the brown that I already had and mixing that with yellow. More water. This is more of a spring green. And then what we're going to do with that is just do a little bit lighter. And then you can do kind of almost like, see if I can do this so you can see it, like grass strokes. Just like a little V. Like that. Oh, that one connected. Just some other kind of foliage. Yeah, that was a good one. Like that. And we're just adding another color and we're filling in the space. I think we'll do this last one. Yeah, like that. Like that. Okay. Another heat gun. All right, so now let's clean the green up. We're going to start with the flowers. So with the flowers, I want to do some red, but I want it to, this is really red. So I want it to kind of go pink. And the only way I can really do that is just water, 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 water down. All right, so for this, we're just going to take this and do 3 dots connecting like that. And I'll start puddle them together. They can go right over your foliage. See, these are getting really watery, so I want to, before they run, they're trying to run away from me, I'm going to just heat them and then just get them a little more solid there, so they're not quite so watery. The heat can also kind of gives, if you'll see the darker area right here, that's just sort of going to outline it a little bit. See, it's got a nice little, so you can see all the little lines. This was the darker area, and when you heat it, it just dries that way and it gets it some variation. Now that I show you guys my one trick, because this is it, this is all I know how to do. I don't really think we're going to be doing many more watercolors because I don't have anything else to show you, but I like to pass this one around because I think you get happy results with minimal effort. All right, so, and then these little triple dots here, you can do small ones. Let's see if we can get even smaller, just like this. And the point is, you really just want them to connect. Okay, I think we're almost done. I don't want to do too many. Okay, I think one more right there. All right. Now, I do have this little tip where we are going to take a pen. Actually, I want to use a Sharpie because I want to use something that is permanent with the watercolor. I'm digging in my jar because we don't want this to run. All right, so what we're going to do is, I'm going to do a little bit of this. We're just going to outline just a little bit, like that. Okay, and that's what we're going to do around the flowers. And then we're going to do a little stem or a little stamen in the center of each, just like that. And then on the leaves, you can kind of just do a little bit of an outline. You don't want to outline the whole thing. Just like that. For the grass, I'm just going to go like this. Okay, we're just kind of going, we're just sort of highlighting. And then we're putting little dots on the stamen, just like that. Okay, I'm going to heat this a little bit more. I should have heated it a lot more before I started. There we go. All right, I'll come back, we'll be a little more finished. Okay, so if you can see, I've gone ahead, done a little outline. I did do a little sort of dot between the lines. See, I did a little curved line here, curved line around each one of those little 3-dot flowers, and then just put a little dot in the center and then the little stamen there. Put a line kind of at the top and on the side of each one of the darker green leaves, and then just 2 lines on those little pieces of grass. Very, very, very rudimentary and hopefully looking whimsical. Okay. Now, at this point, when I get to this point, then I start thinking, okay, do I want to add another color? What do I want to do? So we're going to take some purple. I'm going to mix it in with this red. You do not have to use the same colors that are coming out of the pack. Absolutely. We're going to turn this over. We're going to use the bottom, and we're going to use the bottom of the brush, like the end of the brush, and we're putting some more of those little dots, but this time they're purple, and this time they're not connecting. Let's see if we can get them there. There we go. Okay, these are just like little dip dots. And we're just going to go around and around. And we're just adding a little bit more color. Kind of going around the outside edges, if you'll notice. Because the inside is plenty filled with leaves. Maybe we'll break that comment rule and we'll just go right there too. Sort of filling in. And I'm noticing some spots that just don't have any color. Okay, just about done. And I think one more right here. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's try it. All right, I see one area that's kind of driving me crazy. Got to do something up here. Really needing more, just almost. I'm running out. Oh, I did a splash there. Right there, see? Oh, that's okay. We're gonna take care of that. All right, there. I probably should have stopped while I was ahead. All right, we're gonna add a word. And so you've already seen the mom version of this. So let's do one that just has May. Okay, I like to do nice short words. So we're gonna just do stroke up, stroke down, and this big brush is so forgiving, okay? Now that we've got that done, I'm gonna dry that and I'm gonna add one little touch that'll take care of any oopsies and splashes you may have had like I did. I'm gonna use the smaller brush. And I'm gonna use, I think, the purple again. We want a lot of water. And this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna tap it, just kind of around the outside. More water, Lene. Be aggressive. There we go. And suddenly any little oopsies you have, oh, it looks very intentional. All right, now when we're all done and everything is nice and dry, and particularly want that word dry, we're gonna go over that with the pen a little bit and kind of give it some little, I wanna say highlights, but it's a dark color, so maybe those are low lights. Okay, we're just gonna go right along the edge there, okay, and then there, and then the inside of the A. The outside of the M. I want to make sure you guys can see me without me getting into the paint. There we go, like that. And I see I kind of went a little too far. There, fix that. All right, so that's all there is to it. Let's put it on a card front. All right, we're back with our finished cards. So as you can see, the one for Mom, I used red watercolors pretty much right out of the tray. Maybe added a little bit of brown to just soften that look a little bit. And then on the one we made together, really watered down that red to give it a pastel look. Then I inked the edges brown to match the brown on the wreath. I just used a nice warm brown ink, used my favorite applicator tool to go around the watercolor paper, and then matted it on some pastel, and this one on just some tan cardstock, and this is 5 by 6.5 inch cards. Added a little ribbon. As you can see, you can add it kind of at an angle. It's kind of jaunty on the card, or at the base. You could even do it at the top. All right, so what else can I tell you? Oh yes, I used leftover watercolor paper and made a little tag shape. This would be cute to add to a journal. You could make it into a bookmark. It'd be great on a birthday card. So yes, I will be including this on our giveaway. So how our giveaway works is that we ask that you like, comment, and subscribe to Lene Creates, and then we're going to wait about a week, and then we're going to choose somebody who commented, and we're going to select them and then put their YouTube user and name in next week's video. So you got to come back and watch next week's video to see if you've won. And then you follow the instructions to claim your card. I'm going to let you pick the Mom or the May one, whichever one you want. All right. And then I'll send that to you in some happy mail. I really hope you enjoy your Mother's Day or a day with a friend and family if your Mother's Day, if your mom is gone, like my mom. And at the end of the video, I'd like to show you a photo of my mother and I together when I was a baby and she was painting. It was in our local newspaper and I'm really proud of her. So thanks for joining me today, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.